It is hard to believe, but we are past the halfway point of summer, and that means Hall of Fame festivities are on their way. We're so excited here at Mix 94.1 to be talking to representatives from the Chamber of Commerce about the many events that are going down, including the Balloon Classic. Right now, I am sitting with Megan Stangelo. Megan, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good, and I'm
Good.
so excited to talk about Balloon Classic because honestly, it is one of the premier events of Hall of Fame festivities. I mean, the parade's huge. Obviously, all the inductions, the ceremonies, those are all big things. So I think it's easy to lose perspective on how big Balloon Classic is. Talk a little bit about the scope of that thing.
Yeah, it's huge. So it is one of the only free events in Stark County and one of the biggest free events in Ohio. We estimate about 100,000 come through each year, which is, from an event planner perspective, insanity to even like comprehend that many people in one spot. But we have a wonderful committee, a wonderful team, and wonderful partners throughout Stark County, Jackson, Canton that help us really bring it together for this community. So.
Yeah, it's always like magic because sometimes I think I forget that it's happening, and then I'll be driving up 77, and then the balloons are up in the air, and you're like, oh my gosh, it looks like it's out of a movie or something.
Yeah.
So, no, I genuinely do love it. I know there's so many cool new things that are happening this year, but let's just talk about some of the basic stuff that's happened in the past and, like, what can people expect when they come?
Sure. So we're still flying 5 times as we normally do. One Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and then our traditional Friday night, Saturday night flights. Those happen very early in the morning. So if you're a morning bird, that's 6:30 a.m. Time frame for that morning flight. And then we try to fly between 6:30 and 7 p.m. In the evening flights. So still that traditional stuff. And then Friday night, again, the fan favorite of Glow. So all the balloons will come out.
It's always awesome.
We try our best to do it to music, but sometimes it can be a little challenging. But that will be at 9 o'clock on Friday night. And then the fireworks will be Saturday again at 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's always such an awesome event. It truly is. And I know this year there's a lot of stuff added. There's a lot of new stuff going down. Tell people what they can expect.
Sure. So one of the really exciting things this year is our tethered ride. So if you haven't had the opportunity to go into a balloon, or maybe you don't want to take a full flight, you can actually purchase a ticket to be on a tethered ride, which essentially is a balloon tied to a few trucks. You go up 60 to 80 feet for about 5 minutes, and you still get that feeling of flying. You're just not floating away. So that is available at the track area every Friday night and Saturday night from 7 p.m. till dark.
And that's open to general public.
It is open to general public, so it's $25 a ticket. It's open to anyone. So the basket actually has a door. So if you have someone in a wheelchair or someone who may have mobility issues, they'll be able to get into that basket very easily. There's no age limit either. So as long as your children aren't going to be upset for being high in the air, they can go as well. We are pre-purchasing tickets as well, pre-selling those. It's going to be treated like a fast pass, if you will.
Sure.
So if you pre-purchase a ticket, you'll be able to skip that walk-up line and get straight to the front of the line to get on your balloon.
That's so very, very cool.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people who have said, like, oh, I want to go up in one of those, and this is just such a cool opportunity to kind of have that experience. Yeah. So that's awesome that you're giving that to people. Let's talk about the Budweiser Clydesdales, because that is a huge, huge deal, and I know they're going to make an extended stay here in Stark County.
They are. So we got a call back in September about them possibly coming out to Canton for the festival. And they let us know beginning of this year that they would be doing that. So they're arriving on Monday, July 24th. They'll be housed on the campus of Kent State University, Stark, for 2 full weeks. It's quite amazing what they do. We provide a tent, and they build stables, and they build them like a little home for the 2 weeks. It's quite amazing. If you have time, go look at their website to see the pictures. It's phenomenal. They'll be making appearances, obviously, at Balloon Classic. So they will hitch, which essentially means they'll hook up the wagon twice during the festival.
Okay.
It'll happen at 6:30 on Friday and 6:30 on Saturday at Balloon. They'll obviously make an appearance at the Grand Parade. And then throughout Stark County, those 2 weeks, they'll be at places like John's Bar, Lobies in Akron. We're working on a couple other new places, but if you visit our website and visit Canton's website, all the locations will be listed on there where you can go see those shows. So we're really excited they're coming. It has been a long time coming, working with them since September. We're just thrilled to have that added element this year.
I think that's awesome that they're going to be rolling around Stark County too, like the Budweiser Clydesdales, just like hanging out.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Balloon Classic, it is just an event that has grown over the years. I think it's just gotten bigger and better, and I can't wait to see what you and your team continue to push forward with it. Now let's talk about, the elephant in the room, and I guess there's a little bit of weather. That's always going to be an issue when it comes to balloons. And When they've had the launches in the past, they've done like media flights, and there's been a couple of years I've been scheduled to go up, but every year, I think it was 3 years, the weather was just not agreeing with us, and there was that little part of me that's like, oh, thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. But it's hard to tell because down on the ground, you're like, well, the weather's fine, everything's good, and then they're like, well, no, we can't do the balloons. Kind of give me some perspective on that of like what's happening and what's happening way up there.
Yeah, so what you guys don't see is the pilots have a weather meeting prior to coming over to Kent. And so they all get together and they have a head person that is making the decision on if they can fly. So a lot of elements come into it. Obviously, if it's too windy, they can't go. But if there's not enough wind, they can't go. Balloons can't steer. So they rely on the wind to direct them. They can go up and down, but they can't steer. So if there's no wind at all, when you're on the ground and you think, oh, it's a beautiful day and they're going to fly,
Right.
if there's no wind, they can't fly. Or if there's a storm within a certain amount of distance of Kent Stark, they won't fly. So if there's a major weather incident, maybe in Akron or Cleveland, that may push its way down towards us later, they wouldn't fly. So even though on the ground it may seem perfect and just, oh my gosh, why aren't they flying? There's a lot that goes into it.
I know that's one of those things that everybody thinks like, oh, I checked my phone, the weather's fine, or I'm chief meteorologist of my own house, and it's like, no, there's a lot going on necessarily that you're not seeing there. So Balloon Classic, one more time, let us know the who, what, when, where, how can people find out more information?
Sure. So if you visit our website, Purple Hall of Fame EnshrinementFestival.com, it'll have all the times on there. It's July 28th and 29th out at Kent State Stark. Gates open at 4 p.m. Parking is $10. All the facts are on there. Tethered ride information is on there. Clydesdale's information is on there. Our live band information is on there. So that's the best website to visit for that. And then obviously Visit Canton hosts a lot of that information as well. So
awesome. Are you going up on one of those tethered rides?
I want to go on a real one.
Oh,
I went on a real one last year, Sunday morning, and it was the most magical experience. It was so quiet and so just peaceful. I want to go up again. So,
like I said, I've been invited in the past, and every year when it doesn't happen, I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Megan, one more time, we appreciate everything you did with Balloon Classic, Hall of Fame festivities. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.